Hello and welcome to day 6 of our 12 days of Christmas patterns. We're so happy to have you guys here today. In today's tutorial, we are going to be doing our acorn ornament. Super easy, super fun to make, and it works up really quickly, so let's get into it. So for today's project, I'm going to be using Baby Snuggle yarn. I'm going to be using the colors, this is like a light brown and a dark brown. I think they're called Teddy Bear and Grizzly in Baby Snuggle. I'm also going to be using my 5.5mm crochet hook that I always use. It's my favorite hook. We're going to need a pair of scissors. We'll only need the darning needle to attach our ribbon at the very end. We'll need some fiber fill and our stitch marker. Now, the original acorn that I made, I didn't use fiber fill. I used a plastic acorn ball, which you absolutely can use as well. But for this demonstration, I'm going to use the fiber fill because this is what most people have at their homes. So once we have gathered all of our supplies, we can get into it. All right, to begin, we're going to take our color A yarn or the lighter color of whatever your combination is, and we're going to start off with a magic ring. So create your magic ring. And once we have our magic ring completed, we are going to make 8 single crochets within the round. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we will just pull that closed. Just like that. Now we're going to grab our stitch marker. Now I personally like to use a scrap piece of yarn as my stitch marker, and I just place it right in front of my very last stitch that I made. That's just my personal preference, but it's not necessary. You just place whatever you use right there. Now moving on to round 2, we're going to do an increase round. So we're going to place 2 single crochets in every single stitch around. So 1 and then right back into that same stitch with a second. And at the end of round 2, we should have 16 stitches. So there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So there is round 2 complete. Now moving on to round 3, we're going to do the combination single crochet 1 and an increase stitch. So single crochet into this first stitch and an increase into the next. We'll repeat that again, single crochet and increase. And we will repeat this a total of 8 times for a stitch count of 24 at the end of round 3. And there is round 3 complete. Now for round 4, we're going to do single crochet 24. So 1 single crochet in each stitch around. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and that is round 4 complete. Moving on to round 5, we're going to do the combination single crochet 2 and an increase stitch. So 1, 2, and increase. And we'll repeat that. 1, 2, increase. We're going to repeat this a total of 8 times, and our stitch count at the end of round 5 should be 32. So I will complete this round off camera and I'll meet you back here for round 6. All right, and that is round 5 completed. So moving on to round 6, we're going to do single crochet 32. So 1 single crochet in each stitch around. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So just complete your 32 single crochets and I'll meet you back here for round 7. All right, for round 7, we're going to do the combination single crochet 3 and an increase. So 1, 2, 3, and an increase. Repeat that again. 1, 2, 3, and an increase. And we're going to repeat this 8 times, total of 8 times, and we should have a stitch count of 40 at the end of this round. 3, increase. So just complete 8 of those for a total of 40 stitches, and we'll meet back here for round 8. All right, moving on to round 8. For rounds 8, 9, and 10, so 3 rounds, we're going to do single crochet 40. So 1 single crochet in each stitch around for rows 8, 9, and 10. So I will complete these rows off camera and I'll meet you back here for round 11. All right, this is what we're looking like up to row 10 completed. Now at the end of row 10, we are going to be changing colors now going forward for row 11. So the way that I like to change colors is this very last stitch in row 10, we're going to take out just that final loop and we're going to leave 2 loops. So how I got here was I inserted, yarn over, and I have 2 loops on my hook. Normally I would yarn over and pull through, but I'm going to cut my yarn here. And I'm going to grab my new color. So for me, it's this darker brown. And with these 2 loops on my hook here, I'm going to grab this new color with my hook. And I'm just going to bring that through to complete that single crochet. And now I have the new color on my hook. Now you can tie a light knot these ends just to secure it, but don't pull it too tight. So now that we have our new color attached, we'll move on to round 11. So for round 11, we're going to start off with a single crochet. Now into this second stitch here, we're going to create a bobble stitch. So a bobble stitch is basically 5 or 6 double crochets, double crocheted together. So what we're going to do is we're going to yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through so you have 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 so you have 2 on your hook. Now we're going to yarn over, insert right back into that very same stitch we're already in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have 3 on our hook. Yarn over, back into that same spot, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have 4. Our goal here is to get to 6 on our hook. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So we have 5. So now we have one more. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have 6 on our hook, 6 loops on our hook. Once we're at this point, we're going to yarn over and we're going to pull through all 6 loops. And that is our bobble stitch. Now the combination of a single crochet and a bobble stitch, we're going to repeat that again. So now we're going to go into this very next stitch and make sure you're not skipping any stitches. We're going to place our single crochet, and that's also going to pop out our bobble. It's going to tighten it and pop it right out so that it comes out, if you can see that on camera. So we just put our single crochet there. So now we're going to do another bobble. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're just going to continue this until we have 6 loops on our hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So you should have 6 on your hook now. Yarn over, pull through all 6. And then into this next stitch, making sure we're not skipping a stitch, we're going to place our single crochet. And sometimes the bobbles just need a little push, so you can stick your finger behind and just push them out. And we're just going to go along doing single crochet, bobble, a total of 20 times, and you should still have 40 stitches at the end of round 11. So there I have my 6 on my hook, yarn over, pull through all 6, and a single crochet. So that's what we're looking like so far. So I will continue on single crochet, bobble all the way around for round 20, and I will meet you back here for round 11, sorry, and I'll meet you back here for round 12. All right, so there is our first round of bobbles completed, and this is what we're looking like right now. Now moving on to round 2, in between our bobble rounds, we're just going to have a regular round of single crochets like we normally would. So for round 12, we are going to do the combination single crochet 3 and decrease. Now our stitches are going to be a little bit harder to see because we have our bobble stitch and we have that single crochet stitch in between the bobbles. So make sure you're going into each stitch around. You should still have 40 stitches after you've completed round 11. So now moving on to round 12, we're going to do our 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to do a decrease. So top loop, front loop of each of the next stitches, making sure you're going into the right stitches, and we're going to repeat that. One, 2, 3, decrease. Honestly, just take your time with these rows because they are a lot harder to get into because of those bobble stitches. So we're going to repeat this a total of 8 times for a stitch count of 32 at the end of this round. 3, decrease. So I'm going to finish this round off camera, single crochet, decrease all the way around, and I'll meet you back here for round 13. All right, so once we have finished round 12, we're going to move on to round 13. So for round 13, we're going to do the combination bobble first and then a single crochet. So bobble, same way you did it on the first round. pull through all 6, and a single crochet. And the idea is that we're offsetting here, so we're going to place a bobble kind of in between these 2 bobbles on the last row of bobbles. So they're not all perfectly lined up. We don't want them to be lined up. So we're going to continue single crochet, or sorry, we're going to do bobble, single crochet, bobble, single crochet, bobble, single crochet, and we're going to repeat that a total of 16 times for a stitch count of 32 still at the end of this round. All right, so I will finish this row off camera and I'll meet you back here for round 14. All right, so that is rounds 1 through 13 completed. Now moving on to round 14, we're going to do our decrease round again. So for round 14, we're going to do the combination single crochet 2 and a decrease stitch. So single crochet 1, 2, and a decrease. Now again, you just got to take your time with this one. Stitches are a little bit harder to get into and you don't want to miss anything. So 1, 2, decrease, and 1, 2, decrease. And we're going to complete this 8 times again, and your stitch count at the end of round 14 should be 24. So I will finish this off camera and I'll meet you back here for round 15. All right, so now moving on to round 15, we're going to do another bobble round. So for this bobble round, we're going to start off with a single crochet, and then we're going to do a bobble. So opposite of what we just did in the last bobble round. So single crochet and bobble. Pull through and single crochet again. And we're going to repeat this a total of 12 times. So you should have 12 bobbles on this round. And pull through all 6 loops on the top and a single crochet. So I will finish this bobble round off camera and I'll meet you back here for round 16. All right, so that is up to round 15 complete. Now before we move on to the last few rounds, we're just going to stuff. Now this is a jumbo acorn, just keeping in mind, so you're going to need a little bit more stuffing than a smaller acorn. So basically what I do is I just stuff the fiber fill in, and I just like to sweep it over to the sides to make sure that the outsides are being stuffed as well. So I'm just going to keep adding more fiber fill. You don't want it to be too hard either, so you want it to be kind of squishy. And you don't want it to be too heavy, because if you are going to hang this on your tree, you don't want it to be weighing it down too much. Now this also would be a good ornament to do just like sitting in a tray or something. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the tree, only because it is so big. You know, if If it weighs down the tree too much, you can always put it off the tree somewhere else as decorations in your house. So once we are finished up stuffing for now, I'm going to add a little bit more stuffing before we're totally finished. But this is as much as I'm going to add right now, and then we're going to move on to round 16. So for round 16, we're going to do the combination single crochet. And I'm just going to do this single crochet here to pop this bobble out. And our decrease. Single crochet and decrease. Now again, we're going to repeat this a total of 8 times. Our stitch count at the end of this round will be 16. So I will finish this off camera and I'll meet you back here for round 17. Alright, that's what we're looking like so far. So I'm just going to add a tiny bit more stuffing to the top here. And then we're going to move on to round 17, which is going to be our final round for this project. And it's going to be the combination bobble and a decrease stitch. So we're going to do a bobble here in the first. And the one bad part about having the stuffing is that it can sometimes get caught in your crochet, so try to keep it out if you can. Now we're going to do this combination a total of 5 times. So we've done it twice. We have about 2 bobbles. So we're going to do it again. And then in our last stitch here, we're going to do 1 more bobble. I'm going to just remove our stitch marker here. Now what I like to do here is, after my last stitch, I'm just going to place a slip stitch into that first stitch. That's going to pop out our bobble, and it's also going to end off our round. I'm just going to cut some yarn here, and I'm just going to pull that through. Now I just like to go through and pop out all my bobbles. Sometimes they get pushed in, so I want to make sure that they're all out. I'm going to add a little bit more stuffing to the very top here before I close it up. Now to close up our last hole here, I just like to grab the front loop of each stitch remaining and just pull my yarn through and that is going to close up that last hole here. Just try not to do what I just did and pull through your stuffing, because then it becomes to be a bit of a mess. You can pull it on along the way a little bit. And some of these stitches are just hard to get into, so just take your time. Now if you still have a little hole, I just like to tie a little knot here. Just like that, to fully close up that last spot. And then I'm just going to cut this yarn down a little bit because it's still a little long, and I'm just going to weave in my end. And there is our jumbo acorn. So it is quite big. Now if you want to use it as a tree ornament, I just use some ribbon. So I have this gold ribbon, and I just take a darning needle and I thread that through, and then I just go into that very top spot that we were just in, and I just thread that through there. Borrow some stuffing, and then I just basically make that even. And I like to just tie a little loop, tie a little knot. Just make sure it's large enough that it will fit on a tree branch. Oopsies. There we go. And tie a knot like that. And then I just like to tie a little bow if I have enough ribbon. And if you want to use this for something else other than hanging on the tree, you can just omit the ribbon and leave it as is. And that is our Christmas ornament acorn. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow for our next project. Let us know in the comments down below if you liked this pattern. Otherwise, we will see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.